Hello and welcome to this video where we will be showcasing all the best kit bashes and conversions for Tomb Kings that I could source from the community. Hopefully these inspire you to go ahead and try some of your own, and I have tried to mention the author on each page of the video. I have over 30 here to run you through, and I will do my best to mention what parts have been used to achieve it if you intend to follow along. And as a final quick note, for the most part I've stuck to fully Games Workshop models and conversions to keep this indeed Tomb Kings as you know it from Warhammer and not anything else. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So kicking things off, we've got this really creative build of the Tomb King Skeletal Warriors. Just using some of the extra shields that you're going to have in the kits to put this one together. If you build a unit of archers, you're going to have those shields left over from one of them. And then all you need is a movement tray big enough for the size of the unit. It's also good because it actually conceals some of the sort of older sculpts that people have criticized with the Tomb King skeletons. Just a really easy one, a fun one. I definitely love this. Great job. Next one that we're featuring here, we've got one that a lot of people have talked about, which is essentially to use just the vampire counts or death rattle skeletons, anything like that, as the base for your skeletons if they're just a slightly newer sculpt. And then all you need to do is just kit bash on the shields, couple head swaps here and there. I think they've used a Tomb Guard head maybe on the champion there. And it's really good. You get some newer sort of models, and the shields are what sells this from you from a distance as Tomb Kings. Alright, next we've got one from Pete the Wargamer. He's a very well-known entity in the Warhammer space. He's been featured on Warhammer Community. I think this post specifically was also featured from memory, and this is a combination of many Warcry kits. You've got the Death Rattle kit, the Corvus Cabal kit for one of the heads there, that sort of bird skull one, which is a great sort of crossover for Tomb Kings certainly, and there's Cypher Lords that have been used for the majority of the rest of the helmets that you see on this kit. So it all comes together to make a really sort of unique, nice conversion kit bash. Very nicely done. Alright, here, so just a fairly straightforward one. We've got sort of a Tomb Kings Tomb Guard, meshed with the regular archers to create sort of like a more elite archer unit. It's hard to tell exactly fully all the bits that they've used, but certainly the heads there are from the Tomb Guard. So it could be a little bit of an expensive kit bash or conversion to run with if you wanted to go for a whole troop, because you'll need a lot of archers to put together. But here and there could be pretty fun. I'm not sure of the size of these, if you can sort of mount them as he has to try and get away with sort of an Ushabti even. Alright, and then some additional archers here. So not too much, done with the actual archers themselves, but I really just did like this sort of what you can do on a movement tray, essentially by just putting a lot of sort of shields down, extra pieces. You could put some gravestones and things like that to sort of just really up the the look and feel of the unit. You can have some of them standing on pieces like that to elevate them. So just a nice simple trick to get a good effect. Alright, so moving out of the core units here, we've got some Ushabti conversions here. So this one's using Bone Reapers as a base for sort of the body legs. And then again, we've got, in this case, the Corvus Cabal heads that are being used. And those are actually the tops of standard bearers for Tomb Kings. Again, you're going to get quite a few sort of duplicates and clones of those standards. You won't need to use them all, but you might need to source one or two if you are making a kit of 6 like this. So quite an interesting idea. I think there's a good amount of potential there with the Bone Reapers range. Obviously very similar sort of Egyptian themes. Just got to get your scales right and you can definitely make it work. Alright, so next here we've got really interesting and well done sort of conversion. You can see obviously a lot of green stuffing going on. They're making Ushabti here that are more like the Total War look and feel of the game. So this is using the Oldworld Thaumaturge kit as sort of a base here. And then the Gothrazar Harvester kit for some additional pieces. That's a Bone Reaper kit. And then putting together some Citadel skulls along with that green stuffing to really sell this one. So really well done, going the extra mile here. Pretty cool look for sure. So let's talk about some of these newer kits, such as the Dragon then. So a lot of people have been tampering with the Dragon kit, and a couple people have decided to repose that to make it stand up like you can see here, which I think is really cool. Gives a totally different feel to the model. I think the author of this one did call out like the legs at the bottom look a bit small for the overall sort of size of the model, so maybe that's something you can work towards, or if you don't mind, it's not an issue. I have a couple more dragons here featured that we can take a look at. The next one here is another popular idea. People have thought that the dragon looks more like a crocodile in nature just because of the shape of it. So in this case, they've actually sort of removed the wings, and you just get more of like a crocodile look to the model, which is also really cool, and obviously a bit more of an Egyptian sort of on-point theme for the army to go with. Just a different option for you to think about. Another one here that's posed it upright, just a different person for you to go check out if you're interested. And then the other option here that we've seen people do is actually use the vulture from the Cruel Boys range, the lord with the vulture here. A vulture, another sort of carrion type, fits well for the Tomb King's army. We've got this one here with sort of the older kit mounted on the top. And another one here where someone's doing that with the newer kit. The size of that sort of piece on top still works quite well, and they've just put sort of a headdress, maybe that's a standard bearer top again, I believe, on top of the head of the vulture to just kind of go that extra piece as well. So I think that looks really good. I love this idea for the range for sure. Alright, and then with that dragon, you're going to get a lot of extra parts. You can make a lord on foot as well as the lord that you'll put in the actual dragon itself, so that's going to give you extra options here. You can see someone sort of put a few pieces together to just make a little custom unique lord on foot. That's looking pretty nice for sure, and put the cat down there just to sell that. And then another one here, and this is what I really like. So you can do a lord that's sort of got a lot of sand coming out, building something is what he's doing on top of the dragon. But you can sort of put that to the bottom of the base. You can do a lot with that to sort of, you know, have your own sort of effect and theme going on. So you can see this person here sort of putting this sort of lich priest together as if he's sort of surfing or conjuring something up with all the sand. Looks really cool. So a lot of good options there to kit bash and convert with that part of the kit for sure. Next we've got this is the Coven Throne from the old sort of vampire kits range. Couple people here have used that. So this is the using the casket of skulls as sort of the model that you're going for, and mounting it on top of like this huge piece going on with the Coven Throne. Really cool, really great idea to use that. We've got another one here which is doing the same thing, but they've gone ahead and just put those shields on and those head swaps onto the throne, which I think is great. Just going that extra mile to really sell. This is a Tomb King style model. Looks really nice. All right, and then actually the very first video that I was doing on my channel was all about kit bashing, converting stuff with the Tomb Kings, and a lot of people have had similar ideas and done similar stuff, and I think these sort of Hex Wraith kit horses that we've got that we can use from the vampire range is awesome. A lot of people have decided to go and use them. They're a big upgrade over the horses that we get in the regular Tomb King's army. So definitely look to leverage them if you can get your hands on some at good value, or you've got some lying around for whatever reason. I think they look really awesome, as you can see here. A couple extra people just doing similar things with those horses as well, just so you can get a different look depending on what Tomb King parts that you've got left over from Tomb Guard or from chariots, you can sort of put together some unique models. Here's another one, and this time instead using the Nighthaunt horses, which are the next great option in my opinion for upgrading your horses. If you don't mind that sort of ethereal look that they come with, you'll get some fantastic horses there, especially for the newer lords from the dragon kits who are going to have that bigger scale, just to kind of match them a bit better in sort of the more 32mm size. So this one looking really nice for sure. Another one here as well, just a little bit of green stuffing on their end to actually make a proper saddle to go with that, and just mount some of the extra pieces onto the face and connections there. Really, really nice, looks great, awesome put together here. And we've got another one here, so just redecorating, I think, some of the more standard horses with some extra ornaments, which is another option for you. So if you can't get your hands on sort of additional horses and models like that, just take some of your extra pieces and start decorating them onto the horses to really make them go that extra mile. Alright, so here we've got essentially a great use of the Mortarch kit, and then they're using things like from the constructs in the Tomb King's range, just putting some pieces together, just a kit bash from that point. But it's a really good option, an alternative option that you could either use really as a dragon, or you could use it as one of the constructs in the Tomb King's range if you want to go that route. Alright, and then here we've got another great looking conversion. Actually, Thousand Sons Magnus the Red's weapons here that have been used to good effect. And then that's the top half of a Sphinx kit, and then some third-party pieces put together to make this big Colossus, Giant, Hierophant model, whatever you want to end up proxying in this sort of option as. Alright, next we've got sort of just a head and body swap some extras here, but I love this sort of Anubis head. I know it's not a Warhammer piece, but I did wanted to feature this. I actually had in my mind an option for a themed army to go sort of a completely Anubis route with the army, but that involves like a lot of 3D printing stuff and trying to put things together, so maybe it'll be something to think about in the future. But just really like it. It's just really on point for the Egyptian theme, and well done put together piece here. Alright, so the next one we've got some good use of the Lord of Change kit from Tzeentch, to sort of again make your own sort of dragon or whatever it is that you want to sort of proxy this in as, but again sort of ending up with this sort of vulture vibe, to come away with something that's really thematic and unique. So really well done here how they put that together. Alright, and just featuring a couple of additional ones here, some sort of Nighthawk conversions for the most part. We can see the Silent King being used in the background there, Knight of Shrouds, and I believe that is the Gravekeeper Gorslaw, the Gravekeeper on the right hand side there, and then just some good use of additional parts and pieces, all putting them together to make them more like a Tomb King's theme instead. So again, really nice, well done kit bashing here. Alright, just featuring some more. So this time, instead of the Nighthaunt, they've used the Bone Reapers models, various ones here as you can see, and just sort of swapping in pieces where possible. Again, as I said, you know, there's going to be great crossover with that range, and they've done a great job here. So if that's something that you like, it's definitely an option. You can get some sort of newer sculpts and kits essentially, with just swapping a couple of little pieces here and there. Just be mindful of the overall sort of, when you put these together with sort of more regular Tomb King models, how they're going to look. But certainly for just a couple individual pieces, it really does work well. Alright, so this one I unfortunately lost the credit to the author and couldn't re-find it because I'd modified the image and then forgot to note it down, so my mistake there. If anyone catches this one, please do let me know. I couldn't seem to find it on a backtrack, but got a couple conversions here where people have sort of flocked sand onto models, and I think it comes away really well. Looks great, sort of like they're just rising out of the sands. It just sort of sells that effect really nicely. So in this one, sort of the Blade Revenants from the Nighthaunt range, and just doing a couple sort of simple swaps on the weapons and the heads to make them more like Tomb Kings. It's a really nice idea here. Another one here with the Nighthaunt as well. So this one, one of the Wraith kits, and just sort of coming over really well with a good paint job. I'm not sure if they've obviously put some texture onto the back of that. I'm not sure exactly what they've used, but you can do a similar thing, making your own sort of sandy, flocking process together basically to come away with something like this. So it looks really good. It's a great option. These kits are really cheap to get your hands on as well, so it can be a good option for you. Another one here then where they've gone for the sandy kind of look. This is actually the core of that sort of cape and flowing piece that you see is actually water, which comes from the Idoneth Deepkin Lord in that range. So they've gone ahead and used that, but made it instead look like sand instead of water, which is really well done. And then we can see we've got a Stormcast sort of Grifthound head on the top, and other sort of little pieces that they've put together to make this one. So really great effect. I love the option of using that cape. It looks really awesome. Alright, and then we've got just a sort of a simple chariot where they've gone ahead and I believe just green stuffed on some extra pieces to the horses, just sort of like mummified pieces of robes and stuff around them, and then just some extra stuff on the heads of the horses, which I've seen a lot of people putting together. So you can do stuff like that because the horses do look really basic, especially if you look at even like Cetra's chariot. It's very simple. So you've got some options there to just kind of make them look a little bit better. Another one that we'll look at here. So this one, a lot more work has obviously gone into, actual conversions here. And if you look up Mengel Miniatures and go to their actual website and things like that, they go into a lot of detail about their creation process. So do go there to sort of understand it more. But essentially what the mounts here that they're using are the saber tusks from the Ogre range. And they've got a full tutorial there. As I say, they sort of kit bash and convert some stuff together to get these heads on and additional pieces. So a really unique take on something here, and really nicely done. And the last one then for our previews of all these conversions and kit bashes that we've been looking at. So again, just using those Nighthaunt horses as additional step-ins for the chariot here. Again, really great option if you can get your hands on them. They look really, really awesome. As I round this out, it would be remiss of me to not mention some great YouTube creators with Tomb Kings conversions featured that are certainly worth your time to go and look into. So first, we've got the great Duncan Rhodes, who's recently featured a Spartan-style skeleton conversion, so quite an interesting take. I've seen one or two other people sort of do similar things online. So an interesting option away from the Egyptian theme. Then Pete the Wargamer, who I showed you earlier, actually breaks down his process fully in a video. And there's also the channel Work in Progress Hobbies that has some great content for Tomb Kings that he's done recently. So definitely go and check him out also. And with that, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of those. Consider dropping me a subscribe if you like the sound of my next video. Well, I will be putting together a unique base for my Bloodletter champion using simply just bits of sprue that came in that box, and I've never seen anyone do this kind of style before, and generally I'll be getting into and featuring my build out and painting for my Chaos Demons of Khorne soon. So until then, goodbye for now. Thanks.